He believed, as another highly respected Virginian, Thomas Jefferson, stated, that, quote, rebellion against tyranny was obedience to God, end quote. And Muhlenberg never backed down from his convictions. I love that, folks. Rebellion against tyranny is obedience to God. Folks, those of us who are Christian know God liberated us from our sins. Liberating us from our sin is the greatest gift from God. And having been liberated from our sin, we want to spread that liberty to our form of government as well. And so just like it's stated here, Thomas Jefferson believed this. Rebellion against tyranny is obedience to God. All right, so it goes on. To a fellow minister who had criticized him for his involvement in political and military affairs, Reverend Muhlenberg wrote, quote, I am a clergyman, it is true, but I am a member of society as well as the poorest layman, and my liberty is as dear to me as any man. Shall I then sit still and enjoy myself at home when the best blood of the continent is spilling? Heaven forbid it. I am called by my country to its defense. The cause is just and noble. I am convinced it is my duty so to do, a duty I owe to my God and to my country. How beautiful is that, folks? A man who loves God and shows it by fighting for liberty. All right, it goes on. There's more. Let me get to the really good part. This is such a great book, folks. All right, so it talks a little bit about him preparing his sermon again, and then the congregation is starting to arrive and blah, blah, blah. And then we come to this. With the congregation entranced by his fiery oration, he once again returned to the scriptures and read, quote, there is a time to love and a time to hate, time of war and a time of peace, end quote. Upon reading that passage, Muhlenberg paused and stood quietly, looking across the large congregation. He placed his Bible on the pulpit, signifying that he was departing from his prepared sermon, and said, quote, in the language of the Holy Writ, we see there is a time for all things, but there is also a time to preach and a time to pray. But the time for me to preach has passed away, end quote. He stepped back from the pulpit and concluded his sermon by saying, quote, there is also a time to fight, and that time has now come, end quote. Then, to the surprise of the congregation, he slowly removed his clerical robe, revealing the uniform of a colonel in the Continental Army. How amazing, folks. It goes on to talk about he was able to recruit 300 more men to go and help fight for George Washington. What a great story. God bless America.